Hello and welcome back to Indiana Jones. Here we are kind of where the three pathways realign. This current spot is following the team pathway just because there is one slight difference that we will see in a moment. So we've just gotten to this airlock through one of multiple pathways. And similar to when we were in kind of that dig site bunker area. This is a pitch black area that if we spend a little time here will start to lighten up as Indy's eyes adjust. But in the meantime, we can walk around. So there's a wood thing we can touch.
It feels like a ladder.
What a surprise. It actually is a ladder. So we're going to grab this ladder, come over here, and we're going to look for stone rubble. I suppose we can touch the rubble, not that we're going to learn much about it.
Get your hands off me, Jones. Jones? Hey, you're not Jones. Help, Indy! Indy!
Sophia?
Indy does absolutely nothing as Sophia gets kidnapped for the, 47th time. But yeah, just wanted to show that off. That's the only way that these three pathways differ. And for no real reason, I am actually going to switch over to the final pathway we did, the Wits pathway. So hang on a moment. All right. So as before, we're going to use this ladder. You can see that things are just slightly starting to brighten up. You still can't see much, but
the ladder is in place.
You can see just a little bit. We're going to climb up the ladder here. And there is a stone thing. Let's touch the stone thing.
It feels like a stone box.
We'll open up this box.
It's opened.
We'll touch the open box.
It feels like a stone box.
Thought Indy would be smart enough.
It's a metal rod with an opening on one end.
All right, so we're going to grab this rod that was inside the box, and we're going to feed it a piece of orichalcum, and then, ta-da! This is one of the other additions or slight variations is that we have this tram that's crashed here that would not be present in the other pathways. One thing you want to remember, there's a lot of potential backtracking in this section of the game. So pretty much all the time, if you have the option to pick something back up that you used, you should do so. Anyway, we have this spindle here, which I think we know very well what we're going to have to do with. We're going to put our 3 stones down, which we also want to remember to pick back up. And then I am going to have to look at the dialogue a few times. So the last thing, or the first thing to keep in mind, is that when we come to the final entrance, would yield only to contrary minds, which basically just means we have to do things in reverse. So when we look here, the sunstone, hot sunlight bathed the tall horns. So instead of the noon sun being at the horns, it just has to be at the bottom.
That didn't seem to do anything.
And now we can look at the next 2 steps. Pale dawn, shred the darkest night. So where's dawn? Rising sun and the darkest night. Full moon, new moon. New moon, pale sun.
That didn't seem to do anything.
And the last step. Waning moon to protect the city from grim night. All right. So, waxing, waning moon, and where's the city? 1, 2. All right, so this should work.
The mouth of the statue opened.
So that's this mouth up here, which isn't all that obvious. So we're going to put a piece of orichalcum in there. And then we're going to pick up all these stones. Unlike the other locations, if you walk away, Indy will not remember them and he'll just let it go and you have to come back and find them. So in this area, there's a bunch of these little question mark spots. And there's a few of these that are always the same, but most of them are random. This is a subway stop that has nothing here. And you have to check out all of these various question mark spots to try and uncover all of the things that you are looking for. In total, there's 7 items that we need in this area. This is an important room that we'll come back to. Let me look quickly. Yeah. And actually, what I think I'll do is 2 things at once. First of all, we're just going to go get this soldier. For the most part, you want to try and avoid them.
Dr. George, now we've got you. Another Nazi stooge.
They're not difficult to deal with, but it's just easier to avoid them. However, you do get points for, there's 1 guard in each of the 4 quadrants, and you get points for beating up each one, so you want to beat up each one at least once.
Let's see how big a goon you really are. Enough talk!
We should take this guy out relatively easily. He's not one of the more difficult ones, like some of the guys we fought along the fighting pathway. Granted, I'm still not very good at this, but I'm good enough.
Looks like he's got some rations.
Now, we don't technically need the rations. It is one of the 7 items that I listed, or mentioned, but you don't technically need that. You can use the submarine sandwich. However, you wouldn't have the submarine sandwich necessarily. So it is an item that's there, and I like to get it just for completeness sake. Anyway, just as a quasi time-saving measure, I'm going to go to this location first, which is the other subway spot that has a particular item that we want to get in that room that had that kind of bubbling well that we went into. So if we look, there's this tram here, and a skeleton, but more specifically, a rib cage.
I guess this really was the end of the line.
Oh, Indy. And despite having no idea why he wants it, we are going to take this rib cage.
Now, this might be useful.
Which feels a little rude, but it'll be important later. Anyway, now we can start going through these 4 quadrants. So if you'll recall, in the Dialogue of Plato and a couple different times throughout the game, they sort of mention it that the layout of Atlantis is 3 concentric circles. And this is the outer circle that we're in right now, obviously. So we're going to explore all of these question mark rooms, and we're going to look for these 7 items that I mentioned, in addition to this location. So I'll talk a little bit more about this later, but you don't technically have to come and do what I'm doing right now. You can, well, you do eventually, but you can come here on foot and fight this guard to try and save Sophia, but frankly, he's too difficult, for me at least. He's one of the, guys with a full health bar and everything that I just, I don't have the ability to beat. So instead, we're going to use the more clever method, which is to feed this little statue an orichalcum bead. And we get this amusing little scene, which reminds me a great deal of Austin Powers, the way he just kind of stands there and lets himself get crushed. Anyway, now that that's done, we will depart. Sophia's just got to be sitting there thinking that the machines are coming to life and having no idea why that guard just got crushed, which I'm okay with. Alright, so you want to keep an eye open for these grates that will be pathways between rooms. And for the most part, the gates are just kind of shortcuts to different areas, which is fine. And we can take advantage of it. But there is one in particular that we need to find, because it connects to an otherwise cut off portion of this little labyrinth. So let's see if we have uncovered it. Nope, not quite. Alright. Well, we can go to the crab room while we're here. So even though we don't know why we want to do this yet, I'm going to do it to save us the backtracking. So we're going to use this rib cage as a trap, and you can bait it either, like I said, with the submarine sandwich, or I prefer to just use these bratwurst rations that we took from the guard we beat up.
It worked.
It worked. I put it inside. And even though there's crabs everywhere, we can only catch them here at this pool, so we'll put the rib cage there.
I hope this catches crabs.
And pretty soon a crab will walk into it, and then we just pick that up. And if you keep your eyes on it, every now and then the crab will kind of poke its head out and, yeah, there you go, wave its claws around, but it cannot get out. That is going to be an item that we will need a little later on. If at any point in time you don't feel like fighting these guys...
Jones, you'll never learn. Don't be too sure.
You can bribe them one time with the submarine sandwich, or running away is extremely
I think
easy.
I should find another hallway.
They just kind of let you go. And then you just continue on where you were going. They don't even really chase you. This room, tell you what, we'll explore this room a little bit, even though we'll ultimately have to come back. Let's look at this disc.
It's carved to look like a beetle.
The Beatles. And the spoked wheel.
It's a bronze wheel.
Okay. This one I assume is just going to also look like a beetle.
It's carved to look like a beetle.
Take a look at this statue here.
It appears to be a tube running back into the machine.
How about this dish?
It's an empty bowl. It's carved in a bizarre pattern.
I feel like as an archaeologist he would be intrigued by a bowl, but that's alright. And we can take a look at this funnel, which has one of my favorite lines from Indy in this entire game. Once he gets to the top of the stairs.
Funnels are what you pour liquids into.
Which I suppose is a good hint, but is not the most intelligent thing to say, or at least not the most informative. Anyway, we can't do anything here yet. We have to collect some more of these items around here. And this is one of the few rooms that's pretty much set in stone. It's always right here. There's a couple others like that, but that is one of them. Alright, this is an empty room, meaningless. Let's come down here. Empty. How about up here? I would say this quadrant is the most dense in terms of rooms. Alright. Carry on. Well, this one's entirely done. I think we went here, we went here. Let's go here and here. The other thing with the guards to avoid them is anytime you step into a room, the guards will essentially disappear. This is another room that we are not quite ready to deal with yet, but we can take a look inside. So, there's this impressive pump.
What an archaeological find.
Hey, he's finally impressed by archaeology. There's a plaque.
Looks like something is missing.
And a pedestal.
It's a small pedestal.
And pool of molten lava.
It looks very, very hot.
Yet another absolute gem of a line from Indy, really educating us. Let's see what this leads off to. Excellent. One of the other items we need. So another one of these eel sculptures. Luckily we know what that does. Alright. Take that, head out. And let's just see what happens. Let's go to this room here. Indy does walk notably faster than the soldiers, so you can often use that to your advantage to avoid them. Alright, so we have another piece that we need here. So we have all these robot parts. We'll take a look at.
You'd think the Atlanteans wouldn't be such slobs.
I guess so, but we do want this bronze gear. And then we're going to open up this grate, see where this leads us. So this is the kind of other vent in the jail, but nothing we can do from here. I don't think we can talk to Sophia. I'll give it a shot.
Sophia?
Oh, I guess so.
Yes?
See what she has to say.
I just crawled through a mile of mud for you.
It was a picnic compared to life in this cell.
Are you all right?
I'll feel a lot better once you open this cell.
Did you miss me?
Put it this way, even your company beats this cell.
I don't think she likes the cell. I've been wrong before. Alright, so I believe that is the end of this quadrant as well. Alright, let's move on. I don't really... sure, why not? We can go to this area.
Halt! We don't like people who get in our way, especially not the likes of you, Head Jones.
That's nice. I'm still just gonna leave.
We'll see about that.
Actually, you know what? I'll bribe him.
Wait till Nurab Sal hears about this.
Where you're going, you can give him my regards.
Oh, never mind. I'm a little nervous now. This is going poorly. There we go. That was very close.
He doesn't have anything worth taking.
As I've said, I am not very good at that. Alright, well, now that he's gone, we'll skip this for now. So we'll come back to it at the end. Empty. There's just a couple of spots that we're still looking for. These are the rooms we need to find a tunnel into, which must be in one of these two rooms. Probably this one. Let's see, we've gotten 1, 2, 3, 4 of the items we need. Alright, oop, not pick up, open. Alright. Should bring us in here. We'll go to here. Alright, there's another one of our items that we need. It's bronze spoked wheel. So, alright, so there's 2 more things that we need. Well, let's see if we can find where they are. First, we have to go back through this tunnel. Like I said, you can see that one's kind of cut off right there. And by cut off, I mean this section doesn't connect to the rest of... Okay, so there's the other one. Alright. So, we know where the 2 places we have to go are. So, this is one item we need. We can take a look at this statue head. May look familiar to you.
It looks like a stone fish head.
I always thought it looked more like a bear, but I suppose a fish makes a little more sense for what ultimately amounts to a sea-dwelling people. Alright, so we will go to this last room, and then we're going to backtrack to a couple of locations we've been to before. This is one of the reasons why we needed to pick up that ladder. So you can see there's this large hole.
Looks deep.
and reminiscent of
I
Rosella
already have it.
in King's Quest IV. We're going to lay this plank across the hole, walk across. Little Indiana Jones theme played in the background.
It sure is ugly.
It's not very nice.
Surely this is not the cup of a carpenter.
I don't think I've actually listened to that before. I do feel like this cup seems like it's in an oddly ceremonial place for something that's, you know, not all that special. Bring this ladder with us. We're still going to need it. And carry on our way. All right. So, step 1 is to return to that lava room, which I don't remember where it was. Grab room. All right, probably down here. Are we going to be fast enough to avoid this annoying encounter? Not quite.
Ah, Dr. Jones. You got away before, but not this time.
Don't be too sure.
Okay.
Maybe I'd better head south.
Maybe.
Give up, Jones. There's no escape.
Anyway, let's carry on. Really is that easy to get away. Lava room, alright. Let's see, which way are you going to go? We'll just dance around you. No, come this way. Now go to the lava room. Good job, Dr. Jones. We've evaded capture. So, we're going to use this statue head and put it into this spot here. Oh, my bad. First, we're going to place this cup down. Then we will place the statue head in. Indy will wait.
Aha.
And recollect these items. Probably could have left the statue head because that we actually don't need anymore. Unless we want to come back here. So, actually, I changed my mind. We do have to recollect it. Just in case you have to come back. Because what we're going to do in this machine room, you only have to do once, but if you make any mistakes, you would potentially need to do it again. So I suppose it's not a bad idea to have done that. So let's take this bronze spoked wheel, which you'll note looks remarkably similar to that one, and we're going to put it here where there's just an empty peg.
That looks much better.
And then we're going to go up to this funnel. Now you can pick up some water, like in that crab room, but it won't do anything. You need to use the lava into this funnel. There we go. Which kicks off the machine. So level 1 starts firing, passes down to level 2. We got some spinning going on. More spinning on level 3. And then the ground floor really kicks off. And the statue starts pumping out some beads, which you may be able to guess what they are. Give Indy a minute to meander his way down the stairs.
Well, well, orichalcum beads. I'll put it in the box, too.
And don't forget to pick up this spoked wheel that we need to bring with us. As I said, you're going to be doing a lot of reusing of items, and if you leave things behind, a lot of backtracking, which I don't enjoy. But that's just me. When I did this area the first time, it was very, very frustrating. Genuinely made me hate the game for a little bit, just how often I had to go back and recollect some item that I had previously left behind. Hopefully I will avoid doing it here, but you never know. Alright, now we can finally come to this area. I'm going to step in this room. Oh, wait. Where are you going to go, soldier? There you go. That works. Alright, so finally we're going to go to this last area. And this first thing I'm going to do here, I don't think you have to do, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to put an orichalcum bead in this fish statue. Actually, why don't we take a look first?
It's got a wide open mouth.
Clearly trying to cue you into the fact that you're supposed to put something in it. I don't know why Indy had to walk in the water to
The
look at
sentry
this.
statues have it locked up tight.
All right. And I suppose we can look at the pool of water. Why not?
It seems to be blocking the doors.
All right. So you do have a hint that the pool of water would be an issue. But if we put orichalcum bead in the fish statue...
Uh-oh, that didn't work very well.
Doors try to open, but fail. So what we need to do is use a bead of orichalcum in this eel statue. And as we know, it tends to give off a big burst of heat.
Hey, it's getting hot.
So Indy will toss that in the water. And evaporate all of it away, leaving us free to put another bead. And now for the doors to open. Now you will notice this kind of item here, which adventure games have taught me you need to pick up, but you don't. In fact, Indy will refuse to pick it up, but we'll take a look at it.
It's all that's left of the eel statue.
All right, so we'll leave that alone. Head in here, and we will briefly go visit Sophia. There's an item that came out of the statue that is very easy to miss. I think they tried to highlight it, popping out, but it wasn't quite as obvious as maybe it could have been. I might have at least made it a different color or something so it doesn't blend so well, especially it takes you a while to get here.
A priceless artifact. Now it's a pile of junk.
But we do want this statue part. And then we already talked to Sophia, so we won't say much of anything else to her. But we're going to try to get her out of this jail cell, and she ends up being really, really annoying about it.
Are you sure this is safe?
Hurry up.
And let you drop this bronze door on me?
Brace the door with a rock.
I don't have a rock.
So other than being disappointed by the missing out on the joy of hearing Indy make those grunting noises again, I'm not going to try to lift the cage again because there's no reason for it. She'll just continue to stand there for a very long time, refusing to come out until we brace the door with something.
Jones! Don't you dare leave me here, you troglodyte!
And we'll just move on. So we're going to go into this canal, and as we come in here, we're actually going to end the video with this weird kraken octopus introducing us to the canal. But we're going to have to deal with that next time. So till then, see ya.